Greetings all, Max. We are back, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the cult Denlinger spell that I was under and many others were under, that we really couldn't discern what the guy was saying back when he did these things. This Ed did a video on why Bryan was kicked off of sermon audio. And I knew it was because of the natural childbirth thing. And at the time, I really didn't watch the entire video for his natural child. Maybe I was playing a video game, it was on in the background. But at the time, I was a huge Denlingerite who watched everything the guy came out with and basically agreed with everything the guy said, except for, of course, the interracial marriage thing. And that's what got him kicked off of sermon audio. I don't believe it was because of his video on natural childbirth. I think it was because in this video, he makes some sort of racist statements. And Ed does a thing on it. And I think he's going through the entire video. Excuse me. I think he's going through the entire video and making commentary on it. And there's things that Bryan is saying that I never picked up on when I saw this video. And his video is from 2015. So this is a point in time when I met my wife, and I think it was around that time when I donated to his ministry, something like that, where these things are just flying over the top of my head, and I'm not really discerning them because I trusted the guy, and I was under the Denlingerite spell. It's a spell. There is something there because I can discern when I see something cold, and it's not people that I've been watching for a long time. I can discern it pretty quick. I can pick up on it pretty quick. But I've been watching Bryan for so long that I just accepted everything that he said. And then I took the interracial marriage thing, I put words in my own mind of how I conceive that. And how I conceive that is it's not good to mix cultures because you're going to have problems. And in this video, he's like, well, if you're from two different kindreds, you might have problems giving birth or something like that. And I'm like, well, everybody in America is a mixed race. I mean, everybody. Everybody in other countries, too. But in my own mind back then, I'm thinking, well, yeah, it's not good to yoke up with someone from a different culture who has completely different beliefs and completely different ideas about stuff. It's probably not the best thing to do. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like rewriting in my own brain what Bryan is saying so that he can tell me what I want to hear, or I can like make excuses for him or something like that. That's what happens when you're under a spell. That's what happens. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. And of course, if you really look at the interracial marriage thing in America, okay, you look at this in America, where everybody is mixed in some way, shape, or form. America I'm talking about United States, is a very big country. When you take it that far, are you like, a Midwesterner can only marry a Midwesterner? Is that how far you would take it? Because the country is huge. And people from the Midwest think completely differently than people on the West Coast or East Coast. Are you going to take it that far? The idea is ludicrous. Completely ludicrous. If you're a Christian, as long as you're both Christian, go get married. Now understand though, people going into marriage are people who are not born and raised in America, and they may come here from other countries. Quite a few people in my family have that going on, okay? It's just plain and simple. And this is what got him, Bryan Denlinger, thrown off of sermon audio. I don't think it was the natural birth. I think it was his racism stuff. Because everybody in their family has people that are in interracial marriage. Everybody. It's just how it is. It's just how it is these days. And there is nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with that. It's the unequally yoked thing. And I will say that your marriage will be a little less rocky if you have similar cultures. No, I had the pleasure to go to a Korean Baptist church. It was right up the block from me. And the girl that I was with at the time was Korean. And you go into that Baptist church, and they're doing all sorts of stuff that I have no idea what's going on. No idea. But it's part of their Korean culture. And I didn't feel right about being there. But that's her culture. That's her culture. And you're allowed to participate in your traditions as long as you have faith in Christ. You can still participate in your traditions. But you may have problems when some of these traditions and cultures kind of collide. And that may cause rifts. So it's a best practices sort of thing. But people of there's every race. It's called the melting pot here in America. Called the melting pot. There's different races everywhere. Everyone's born in America. You've been here for a long time. Everyone has the same idea of what's going on and the same traditions and stuff like that. Christian, go ahead and marry whoever you want. The idea that, oh, you're going to have problems in childbirth if you marry someone who's not the exact same skin color and the exact same ethnicity as you, comes from the exact same area on the planet as you do, is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. I just did want to mention the fact, though, that this is 2015. I was still very much in the Bryan Denlinger camp, donating to his ministry, and recommended him to other people, because I was completely mind controlled. And every time that he said something that, I was kind of like, what? I was thinking, well, he must have meant this. I am reinterpreting what he said in my mind so I can keep supporting the guy. That's mind control. Mind control. So that's what I have to say about that. Ed picked up on a lot of that stuff because Ed's been slamming this guy for a long time. And that's what I have to say on that topic. The other thing I want to briefly touch on is I did a video and took it off and made it unlisted about my Patreon page clarifications. Anybody who wants that video, email me at maxbauerproductions@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and I'll send you the link to it. The reason I took it off is because I realized like an hour or two after I put it, I'm like, there's all these Bryan Denlinger people that are kind of going to be after me. And if you see the video, you understand why I take it down. There's going to be just a ton of trolls and stuff like that coming to my Patreon because they're mad and they have no place to go now. And they're going to be messing with me. And I thought, maybe I should take that down and rethink that. And there's nothing bad in the video. I'm just explaining and answering questions that I had about the page. And that's it. But I don't need an army of trolls to come in to my Patreon. That's what it is. So I took the video down. Like I said, you want a link, I'll gladly send it out to you. And I think with that, we are out of here.